Hello everybody, welcome back to Bumble Stitches. My name's Nicola and this is my Flosstube number 54 and today is Sunday the 24th of November. I hope you've all been keeping well since I saw you 2 weeks ago. Totally impressed with myself that I'm keeping to my 2-week schedule at the moment, and of course that's all about to change with December just around the corner, but more about that in a moment. But a big thank you to all my subscribers and returning viewers, and thank you for all your comments as well, they are much appreciated. If you're not subscribed to my channel, it would make me really happy if you would give me a little subscribe, hit there down below, and also a thumbs up on the video is very much appreciated. So, as I said, 2 weeks since I saw you last. I haven't had as much stitching got as much stitching done as I would have liked, and I certainly haven't got any sewing done. I don't really know where the time has gone. It's absolutely flown, and as I said, with December just around the corner, there are so many things whirling around in my brain, things that need to be done in the run up to Christmas, and I'm sure every one of you is in exactly the same position as me. So yes, while we're talking about Christmas, I alluded to the fact that things are about to change because December the 1st is actually next Sunday, and I knew it was close. And yeah, I was watching somebody this morning, I think it may have been, who was it I was watching? I think it was Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher, saying that December the 1st was next week, and yeah, then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Oh my goodness, it's next week, I need to get prepared. Now, as you know, last year I did 12 days of Stitchmas. Sort of every other day I came on and did a short video, and if you watched that and enjoyed it, thank you. I know they're really popular. So many Flosstubers do Christmas sort of specials. They do Flossmas. Some people do it every day, some people do it periodically through the Advent season, and it's always nice to see people open up their advent calendars and share, you know, all their festive preparations. So I would like to try and get something out for you this year as well. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do every day. I think it might be a bit of a struggle. I don't have any time off from work in the run up to Christmas, so things are going to be a little bit hectic, but I will try and pop on every few days or so hopefully that will work out. There's no fixed plan, we're just going to go with it and see what happens. I haven't got an advent calendar this year, so I thought I'm fine, I don't need an advent calendar. I'm not going to sort of splash out on one. And Paula and I, my good friend Paula from Eva Faith, she and I have been doing an advent swap for the past few years. We started out doing 24 days. I think we did that for the first 2 years. Then we decided that was really quite hard work. Not hard work, but I think the most difficult part is choosing 24 different presents and keeping it sort of to a kind of a budget. And, you know, so we decided then to drop it down to 12 days, which we did last year. And this year we've decided we're going to do a Christmas Eve box swap. So we're each going to prepare a little box of goodies to be opened on Christmas Eve. So that's much more manageable, and I'm much less stressed out by that by that idea. So that's what we're doing. But then it made me think, and of course Instagram is a big culprit, isn't it? You see all the people sharing pictures of their advents that are coming, and all the companies that are doing advent calendars, and then the FOMO, the fear of missing out, got me badly, really badly. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do Flossmas, I need something to, something sort of tie it all together, and that's what the advent, opening the advents normally does, doesn't it? Way too late to get on board with any of the advent calendars that I would have considered, and a lot of them are quite a considered purchase. So I thought, well, okay, what can I do? So I'm a big fan, as you know, of all things Liberty, and they do a calendar every year with beauty and fragrance gifts inside, and they are quite expensive. So I've always given them a bit of a swerve. Justin did ask me this year, would I like one? And I said no, because they are expensive, and I thought you may not like all the things that are in it, and lots of reasons why I said it was really kind of him to ask if I wanted one, but I said no, I didn't want one. But what I've had a bit of an idea, and if you can see just behind me there, I went onto eBay and searched for the empty boxes that the Liberty Advent calendars come in, because they are exquisite. They are just so beautiful. So let me just swivel round and grab it. And this actually came about an hour before I was about to start filming. So here it is. It's quite a big box. And as you can see, this was the one from last year, 2023, I believe. And you can see it's a model of the Liberty shop in London. So that's the front. At the side, if you've been to Liberty, you'll recognise the staircase there. And I think same on the other side. And then at the back, you have got sort of like what would be representing the interior of Liberty, with all the sort of galleries as you go up through the floors through the store. So pretty. So I bought this. It is empty. Now it opens at the front, if I can do this. So it opens like this, and I'll just pop behind, and it reveals all the doors inside. Now, as I said, this is empty. So this is, someone's had this calendar last year. They've had all the lovely goodies out of it, and yeah, it's such a beautiful, it's so well made. It really is exceptionally well made. So what I decided to do was I ordered this, really pleased that it's come, and I'm going to use this hopefully for years to come. And I have I know it's not going to be a surprise, but I've ordered some flosses and bits and pieces that I know that I need and will use. Some flosses that will go with some Stacey Nash charts that I'm planning to stitch, and other, just as I said, bits and pieces that I know that will be useful to me. And when they arrive, I'm going to get Justin to fill the box, the drawers, with the little things that I have got for this. So I won't know, although I'll know what they are, I won't know what day they're in. And when the parcels arrive, hopefully in the next couple of days, I'm not even going to open the parcel. So I won't actually physically see the things until I open the calendar. So I thought that was sort of a compromise between buying a really expensive stitchy calendar and doing one for myself that I can share with you all during Flossmas, and get things that I actually need, that I actually have got plans for and like and want. So I thought, so that's kind of my Christmas present to me. So I will look forward to sharing that with you as we go through Flossmas starting. I'm hoping to get a video out next Sunday, but I don't know if I'm going to have time on the weekend to get the tree up and get everything prepared. Last year I had a tree here to make it all look nice and festive, but I don't know if I'm going to have time to get that up in time for next Sunday, because next Saturday Mum and I are actually going to Liberty. We plan a day up in London to do a little bit of Christmas shopping, have a little wander around Liberty, and some of the shops in that area. We're not going to do the whole of, because it's just too much. And we just want to be up there to get the atmosphere, have a bit of lunch, you know, have a little bit of a walk around and see all the pretty things in the shop. So if it's the choice between staying at home and putting the decks up or going to London to Liberty with Mum, I think you know which one is going to be. So anyway, that is what's going to be coming up soon in the future. So the stitching that I alluded to that I have got done, I have actually got two finishes. They're not fully finishes, but they are finishes. So I'm very pleased about that indeed. The first one, it was really, really close to being finished anyway when I shared it with you last week. And it's the Velvet Carrot Needle Book by Stacey Nash. When I showed it to you last week, I had to do, I think, a bit of his tummy and the greenery here. So I got that finished last weekend. So he is done. He still needs whiskers, I think, he or she. I keep forgetting. I stitch these things and forget to put the whiskers on. But here's the chart. And are there whiskers? Yeah, there are some little black whiskers that need to go on. So this is now going into the to be FFO pile. And this was all stitched on 40 count fibre on a whim in Milk and Honey. I got from Peakside Needleworks, and I stitched it using the Called For Weeks Dye Works flosses. I'm getting quite a few things now in the to be FFO'd pile, so I don't know when. I think it might be a New Year job now, because I think, as I said, time is starting to seem to be contracting as we run up to Christmas. The next FO that I have is, again, this was low hanging fruit. This was almost done, but I just had a little bit of a final push on it. And it's from this chart, The Bells of Christmas by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And it's this one here that I have completed. So let me just show you that now. So not a huge amount of stitching on this, but really pretty, and I did enjoy it. I like the colours, and I think it's going to look really, really gorgeous when it's made up in the bell shape. Again, I have used, well, mostly Called For on this. There's a lot of Weeks Dye Works in this, and I've substituted a few other colours. This was one of my Stitchmas projects last year. So those are my flosses, and of course I still need to start on the Angel, the Peace on Earth, so that I've got two. And I'm thinking, do I leave this one here and not fully finish it until the Angel's done, or do I finish one anyway, so at least I've got one? So I'd be interested to hear what you would do if you were in that situation. I feel like I should get the other one done and complete them together, FFO them together, so I know there'll be an exact pair. But yeah, we'll see. You let me know what you would do in that situation. I didn't tell you the linen on this one, did I? This is I'm pretty sure this is one of Vicky's linens from West Green Loft Dye Studio, but I haven't made a note of the of what colourway it is, or have I? Here's the band from the fabric. It was the Calamine 36 count fat quarter, and that's Vicky at West Green Loft Dye Studio. So that needs to stay out, really, doesn't it, if I'm going to make a start on the Angel. But in the same little project keeper here, which I made using Carrie of Tiger Lily Designs, one of her PDF patterns, little mini project keeper, which is great because when you get these small size charts, the sort of the A5 charts, they fit in here perfectly. And I think it's nice because if you're an indecisive stitcher like me, you can have this out. I have this by the couch, and if I get, for whatever reason, I've had enough of the Bells of Christmas, I can just switch over to my next project. So it's really super handy. The next project that's living in here is, of course, Stacey Nash's It's a Wonderful Life pin keep drum. And I haven't made a huge amount of progress. I did get I mean, it was ridiculously small when I showed it to you last time. I had the tiny bit of the chimney here and a little bit of the roof. I've completed the outline of the roof, extended the chimney down all the way, and this is a big old house, this one, so it's going to take a while. I'm stitching this one on, I think this is some Zweigart summer khaki, I believe, and I'm using pretty much all the called for. I've got a couple of little rogue DMCs in here, but pretty much the called for. And let me quickly show you the image from the front of the chart, which is here. So there's that one, and you can see it is quite a big house, but nonetheless really, really pretty. I think it's a very sort of elegant piece, isn't it? It's going to be a timeless one. And obviously I've still got a floating thread there where I must have got distracted and decided to start doing some other stitching at that point in the evening. So let's move those out of the way, and then we can move on. We'll stay with Stacey Nash for a while because my next whip is my prep for the Jingle Ball, which is coming up soon. Now, is that next weekend or is it the weekend after? I can't remember. You're probably all shouting at me. I've already resigned myself to the fact that I'm not going to have my homework done ready to fully finish this piece in class with Stacey. But as I understand it, the classes are recorded and kept on the Jingle Ball site for a month after the class. So there's time to go back and revisit that if you don't get a chance. So, of course, the class I'm talking about is the Gingerbread House sewing book. I got the PDF for my class, that's why I've printed it out myself. So you can see here the front of the house and the back of the house there, which has got the super cute mice in the attic and all the cute little features there, the stockings in the fireplace. Absolutely beautiful, and this shows you how it's going to be inside. So it's been living in my lovely gingerbread house bag that was part of my Advent swap with Paula last year. She did a running theme of gingerbread, which was really so clever. And because of that, she included in my parcel last year a piece of 36 count linen in her colourway Gingerbread Man, and that's what I'm stitching my piece on. This is my progress so far, and you can see how beautiful that piece of linen is. Now, I did start this, the white here with, I think I've got mostly called for flosses for this one. Mostly the called for Weeks, and it was Weeks linen, which is a lovely neutral. But it was just getting a bit lost on my fabric, and I wanted obviously the outline of the house and because all the outlines are done in the linen to just show up a little bit more, so that it was a bit more definition. So I actually, after I'd done the outside of the roof, outlined the roof, I then went in and ripped it out and replaced it with DMC 3865, and I think it does have that definition that I'm looking for now. So that's my start on that one. If you can hear Alfie barking, I do apologise. It's because Justin's just had to pop out and he's expressing his displeasure in that. So that's something that I'm going to be keen to keep on with in some sort of vain attempt to get it done by the time class starts. But nevertheless, it's such a lovely stitch that it's really not a problem if it's not done in time. I shall carry on afterwards. Okay, and I think there's one final work in progress, and this has been a little bit neglected, and it's very remiss of me. This is because I haven't had a lot of lunch times lately at work. Work has kept me busy, and appointments and working through lunch and not being about at lunchtime. So I digress. This is the Hometown Holiday Sale by Laurie Holt, published by It's So Emma, and this is a stitch along that I am woefully behind on at the moment, but it is a beautiful stitch. You can see I've got a piece of wandering grass floss here. Let me show you the chart. This is in one of my lovely bags from Pauline at Sobe Bags. And the fabric I'm using is a 32 count Picture This Plus in vellum. I'm using all the called for DMC flosses. And here is the chart. So you can see just how pretty that is. And a couple of episodes ago, I showed you a little wooden sled that I bought in Hobbycraft a couple of years ago that I'm hoping to use as a piece for finishing this, this sampler once it's done, which I'm going to have to modify a little bit, but I think I can make it work. So that's the Hometown Holiday Sampler. And that, my lovely viewers, is the content of my stitching for today. But I suppose because I'm used to a very long interval between my Flosstubes previously, now it is really just those 2-week snapshots that you're getting. And let me know if this is working for you, me doing every 2 weeks. If that's working for you, let me know. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it. So I mentioned Tiger Lily Designs, Carrie, this morning, and Jessica. And the reason I mentioned both of them is because I've been watching their latest Flosstubes, and Carrie and Jessica have decided to do a stitch along next year, 2025, for the Blackbird Designs Anniversaries of the Heart series. If you are a long-term viewer, you will know that in this bag I have got my Anniversaries of the Heart. This hasn't been picked up at all in 2024, which is pretty shameful, but it's a fact. So it's in here. Now, Carrie has done a great job in her preparations for this. If you go along and watch her latest Flosstube, she talks you through her fabric, her flosses. She's even done a spreadsheet of all the flosses for the entire series of all 12 charts. And she shares her fabric. She's even got a really super cute pattern, foundation paper piece quilt pattern to make one of her keepers to go with it. Carrie will tell you all about it, so go along and watch her. And it got me thinking, I really want to get this project back up underway and get it done. 2025 I think is the year that it's got to happen, and I think knowing that there's going to be a new stitch along and it's a fresh start will be just the incentive that I need. So I was thinking about it. While I'm thinking about it, let me get it out. Now, as I have also mentioned fairly recently about how your stitching, your skills improve the longer that you stitch for, the more frequently you stitch, your tastes change, and lots of factors I think mean that sometimes what we were stitching on or what we have stitched a few years ago is not necessarily what we would do or how we would do it if we were doing it today. And this is, I think, why this project, this whip, has languished so long on the shelf and not been given any love. Now let me show you the project first. Now I'm stitching mine on a piece of 30 count linen. I can't remember the exact linen or where it was from, but the called for on the chart is a 30 count, so that's what I went with. So here's my piece. If you've seen this a million times, feel free to go and make a cup of tea, put the dog out, vacuum the lounge, whatever you need to do. But here is where I am at. So you can see this is, and I've done them sort of in the chronological order. So the Snow Garden, I think Valentine Rose. The next one directly underneath my nose was one of the bonus charts. The March one I can't remember the name of. The April one I can't remember the name of. The May one, and I've started on the June. Now obviously the March one needs some over one in there, and a couple of these still need their personalisation put in them, just some over one with the initials and dates that I want to commemorate in this. Well, it is a sampler, isn't it? So that's where I am. So can you guess what's coming up next? I thought to myself, this is on 30 count. I've been stitching it with 2 strands of floss and I don't really enjoy doing that anymore. So I've got a really big decision to make, and it is a big decision, and I know what every person with common sense in the Flosstube community and viewing is going to say to me when I say, should I just start it again on 36 count linen and stitch one strand over 2 linen threads, or do I not be ridiculous and just carry on where I'm up to and just put up and shut up with the fact that I have to stitch with 2 strands on 30 count linen? My head knows the right answer, but my heart is arguing really badly at the moment. So that's the decision I've got to make. Obviously, if I carry on with this, I've got a fantastic head start. I can pick up in January with this block here, which is the Happy Birthday chart, which is chart number 6, but 7 on here because obviously there's a bonus chart in there. This one's got quite a lot of, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, a lot of these petals on the trees, on the blossom trees, are actually Lazy Daisy embroidery stitches. But really pretty chart. They're also pretty. I won't get all the charts out now. You can go and see Carrie goes through them all in more detail. But yeah, I can pick that up from there and carry along my way, along and do the bottom row, and it is achievable to get this complete next year. And if I start it again, then I'm starting right back at block 1 with the snow garden. And what would you do? Let me know what you would do, and please be honest if you are like me and you are a bit of a crazy stitcher and you would really seriously think about starting this piece again. Let me know. I'm guessing if I were to do that, I could make some sort of super drum out of the top row. Just do that bit of over 1 on the March block, which is for Justin. It would be a ginormous drum though, wouldn't it? Maybe a bit too big. I don't know. I'm just really undecided. All I know is I do really want to pick this project up again in one way or another. The flosses that I've got a bit of everything here. I've got these couple of big, a big ring of flosses here. There's some called for in here. There's some that I pulled out of stash that kind of look, I was trying to match to the photographs on the charts because obviously, and again, this discussion's been had a million times. You know, the flosses now, the dye lots of the names of the overdyes don't necessarily look that similar to those that are on the photograph. So I think a lot of people have had that problem and made that comment. So I've kind of been winging it as I go along. But it's fine. It looks great. It's the colours are not what bothers me. It's just the stitching with 2 strands really is not my enjoyable place for stitching anymore. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it at all. It might be your sweet spot, but I think when you're stitching, it's your precious free time, isn't it? And you have to do it the way that makes you the most happy and the most comfortable. Fits along the bottom of the screen quite nicely there, doesn't it? So that's Anniversaries of the Heart. But if you are keen to join, as I said, please do go along and watch Carrie's video. As usual, she is so infectious with her enthusiasm. That's what's made me want to dig this out, have a little look, have a little think. And let me know what you think I should do, and let me know if you're considering starting it or picking it up again too, if you've got an Anniversaries of the Heart that's been just in hibernation. So let's pop this one away. And I really, really do like her keeper pattern that she's released to go along with the stitch along. So I might have to consider, perhaps if it's in a nice new, it's in a new house rather than in this old project bag, perhaps that will spur me on as well. So that's Anniversaries of the Heart. Okay, moving along now, I have got some goodies that have been sent by Fat Quarter Shop, very generously again. And I'll just run through those with you now. And we've got a little giveaway as well. The first thing that I received, and I was absolutely delighted to receive this, is Laurie Holt's new quilt book, Prairie Home. And if you are a fan of Laurie and a fan of Fat Quarter Shop, you will probably have seen the recent video where they do a complete run through of all the sample quilts from this book. I believe there are 40 quilts in here. Does it say on the back? I'm pretty sure there's 40 in here. I'm not going to go through in great detail because I'm sure lots of people have done that already. And as I said, you can go and enjoy that video if you want to see all the quilts in greater, in all their splendour in Laurie's house. But just so you get the feeling, this is the front of the book. I apologise for the glare. And I've just bookmarked a couple of pages. It's split into sections of the seasons, so it gives you an idea and a flavour of what's inside. So that's the spring. There is a quilt in here that has my heart already, well, a couple, of course. The one that I'm absolutely in love with is this one, which is called Grandma's Sampler Quilt. And isn't that just stunning? It looks really simple. Laurie's instructions are always fantastic and really easy to follow, but I would have to really concentrate on getting my points and corners straight on that one. And then if we just go along a little bit more, I'll just show you a couple more pages that really struck me as being particularly pretty. That's the introduction to the summer section. There is a fabulous red, white and blue patriotic quilt in here. I need to try and put something over this because it is, if I do that, this one here, can you see how gorgeous? I am a sucker for a red, white and blue quilt. I haven't made any yet. I've successfully managed to gather lots of fabrics and dreamt about them. This is the Prairie Picnic quilt, that particular one. And then if I just switch to winter, again, there are some stunners in here. This one here, the red underwear quilt, I think is such a clever idea. So quirky, but so fun. It's the all-in-one red underwear that the pioneer men would have worn. I think Laurie is just such a clever lady. So that has arrived and was very, very welcome. And then also there are some charts. There is, sticking with Laurie for a sec, there is the Hometown Neighbourhood Sunflower House. This is part of a series. I'm keeping these to one side, so once I've got a little bundle of them, we'll do a giveaway of those. And Laurie's Stitch Cards Set V, very traditional style with these ones this time. Really lovely. Would make a lovely little pillow all stitched together. Then we have some It's So Emma designs, and this one is part of the mini Simply Signs. This is Boo, really cute. I love that one, with a little ghost particularly in the back. Sticking with the autumn theme, we have Pumpkin Pals with the crow and the wheelbarrow, and of course Shelf Life. This is October's pumpkins, and that's a jar series that's been running through this year as well. And then finally there is a quilt pattern, which is this one, Goose and Gander. That's a lovely design. What I like about these as well, they tell you on the back obviously all the fabric requirements, and they recommend the It's So Emma half square triangles and flying geese papers on a roll, so that you can get some really nice, crisp, precise results. So those were the lovely goodies from Fat Quarter Shop. So a big thank you to them. And I would like to, I should stop swizzling about, shouldn't I, in my chair? I'd like to offer these 3 charts for today's giveaway. So the Boo Mini Simply Signs, the pumpkin, what's it called? Can't read backwards. Pumpkin Pals, and the Shelf Life kit series. So these 3 charts are today's giveaway, and if you use the word pumpkin in your comment, then I'll choose a winner. I'll do it in a couple of weeks. I won't do it next week on the first Flossmas episode, but we'll pull this at some time during the festive season, just so that it keeps the momentum going. So those are the Fat Quarter Shop items. I've got a little bit of haul, not very much. I've been, as I said, I have bought some things for my Advent, which I will share with you as they as the days roll round. But I did get a couple of, I couldn't resist another couple of animal crackers from Stacey Nash. I managed to get hold of Clovis. I didn't have her, and I wanted her to complete my collection of the British series. So there's Clovis. And this one, I nearly lost my mind when I saw how clever this design is. And this one is Bones. Obviously he's missed Halloween, but just adorable. I think that's a really overused word, by the way, at the moment, adorable, but this is adorable. Little cat skeleton and his little skeleton fish, and he's got a mask as well, the same as Nettle does. And I just think it's genius. So those two will be added to my animal crackers collection. The haul now is moving into kind of segueing into the sewing section. So I spoke to you last time about the Wensleydale quilt by Jen Kingwell that I want to start on. And I did pop onto Amazon and bought myself one of these add a quarter rulers. I haven't even taken it out of the packaging, but essentially from watching tutorials, this is invaluable if you're doing foundation paper piecing, because it has got, where the 1/4 inch line is on the ruler, it has got a lip, so you can butt it right up against the fabric and the paper, or against the paper, so you can make your 1/4 inch cut. So I've got one of those, and I picked up a couple of charm packs because I have got some I've got some Christmas sewing to do. I need to make a stocking for Enzo, so I'm going to make him a just simple 2-inch square patchwork Christmas stocking. And I've also got some secret sewing to do. So I picked up this one, which is Merry Little Christmas by Bonnie and Camille. And there are some lovely, just give you a little whiz through some of the colours. Bonnie and Camille fabrics are always so pretty. I always have lots of lovely aqua in there. There's that one. And then this one, which is Cozy Wonderland. These are both Moda, and this is by Stephanie Slowinski of Fancy That Design Company. And this is called Cozy Wonderland. And these little guys on the front are just the cutest. So let me just see if I can, how did I do that last time? So yeah, this one's got, I think those little guys are there again on the red. Yeah, look. So you get the vibe. This is a proper sort of cozy feel to it. So yes, that will keep me busy. Well, I have to really to get cracking on some Christmas sewing because there's lots to do and not a lot of time to do it in. I was really taken by a block of the month quilt that was coming out for 2025 from Alice Caroline, who does all the Liberty fabrics. And I watched now who was it? It was Rachel. I can't think of the name of your channel, Rachel, do forgive me. Rachel does all the lovely Liberty quilting. She was actually on her latest video. I'll link it down below in the description box. She was sharing that she was asked by Alice Caroline to prepare some of the EPP blocks for the photo shoots for the quilt and getting it all ready in for the packaging and the boxes and the social media posts and all that kind of thing. So she was really, she felt really honoured to do that, and it's absolutely stunning. And I had a look on the website and I thought to myself, right, okay, I'm going to sign myself up and I'm going to make one block a month of that beautiful quilt next year in 2025. And who missed the boat? Me. I snoozed and losed, and it was sold out, and I was quite sad. In fact, I was at work when I saw something come up on my Instagram about it being sold out, or an email or something came up as a notification on my watch, actually. So all the important stuff comes through as notifications, and I immediately text Justin and said, I've missed out on the block of the month 2025, and he answered me, he's like, huh, what are you talking about? Anyway, I digress. So but in a funny way, it has reminded me of a quilt that I saw, first of all, on Pat Sloan's channel, and it's called I can't remember what it's called. It's something to do with London, and it's by Cake Stand Quilts. I'm going to pop a picture here. I can't remember the name of the quilt. I'll put that down the bottom as well if I remember. But essentially, it's made of 12 blocks, so it will work perfectly. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to make my own block of the month. I'm going to get the pattern. I think Cake Stand Quilts is a quilt designer here in the UK, so that will be fabulous as well to support someone, a homegrown quilt designer. And the quilt has, as you can see from the photograph, it has all the iconic London landmarks. So it's got Buckingham Palace, the Tower of London, it's got the Millennium, the London Eye, it's got the Cutty Sark, all sorts of lovely things. Pat Sloan has been doing a quilt along on her channel, so you may have seen it there. The quilt calls for Tilda fabric in their hometown collection, but I am thinking, because this quilt also has our little friend here on it, it's got the Liberty Building, and I'm thinking, how fabulous would that be? And to make up for missing out on the Alice Caroline Liberty Quilt block of the month, if I did mine using Liberty fabrics. So that is my little exciting quilty plan for next year. So yes, lots to think about and lots to do, and as always, not enough hours in the day. I really hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and as I said, I will be back next weekend at some point to kick off Flossmas. If there's anything you want to ask or whatever, just drop me a comment down below. Please enter the giveaway. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't, and have a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.